Hello, Andrew Wasson here. I want to say thanks for joining me for the new episodes of the Guitar Blog series. Now, these new episodes are going to be posted in two parts, with part one here on YouTube. It's going to be totally free. Anybody can watch it. You can get a couple of good ideas out of the first two segments of the lesson plan. And then part two is going to be available in the members area at creativeguitarstudio.com. So if you haven't joined up to the site yet, at least get a free membership. There's lots of cool stuff up on there. But if you have a paid membership, it's obviously going to be way more material accessible to you. And as a bonus, these new episodes of the Guitar Blog are also going to have an accompanying handout that members can download. And sometimes there'll even be MP3 jam tracks as well. But these handouts are going to be a nice addition. People have been asking for them for a while now, and they're going to have all the examples notated in both music notation and tab. So just once again, thanks for tuning in to the new Guitar Blog episodes, and I hope you enjoy the new lesson plans. Hi, I'm Andrew Wasson. Welcome to the July 3rd, 2016 Guitar Blog lesson on how to upgrade your jazz, soul, R&B chords. Now, the sound of your typical jazz-influenced soul R&B tune carries with it a lot of cool effects with the chord options that are available if we stretch these chords out and do some different things with them. And the chords used in this style can range from triads to seventh qualities to even extended chords. So, getting into this style is going to be something that's going to give you some work to do, because the chord types involved rival that of what's really found in your more traditional jazz songs. So what we're going to do is, in this lesson, we'll study how to take a basic set of chord changes and then expand them into larger chord voicings using both seventh quality and extended chords. Plus, we'll also take a look at adding scale tone ideas around the chords for articulation to take the progression into a whole new direction of sound. Well, we're going to start off here in example one by breaking down a triad framework of chord changes, and we're just going to establish a simple group of foundational chord movements that will be in the form of triads. Our chord progression is going to be in the sound of E minor tonality, which is a derivative of the G major tonality. So the sixth chord of G major is E minor. That's referred to as relative minor. We're going to focus on that E, and that's going to be the center of our harmonic movement as we travel through the chords. And so what's going to happen is we're going to start on E minor, and then we're going to head over to A minor, which is 4 chords away, and then we're going to move up a whole step, to B minor, the 5 movement away, so that's the 5th away from E, and then we're going to move up 1 step higher to a C major, and that's a 6 away. So we have 1 to the 4, 5 up to the 6. And those chords again are E minor, A minor, B minor, C major. So what you want to do is become familiar with the movements. They're all tabbed out in the handout. Play through the progression, become familiar with its sound, and then when you're ready, turn on a metronome or a drum machine and just be able to get a good groove going. I'm going to play the changes down for you just so you have an idea how this thing sounds. It goes like this. So that's example number 1. Take a short break, come back in a moment with example 2, where we're going to extend the chords out to 7th quality. Smooth jazz chords introduces chord types that offer a very different sound from the chords that are used in almost every other style of music. The Smooth Jazz Chords video lesson is a 2-part course that demonstrates chord types that are used in the smooth jazz style. These chords are often referred to as triad over bass note chords, and the lesson demonstrates these chord shapes as well as their use using both diagrams and example progressions. Smooth Jazz Chords is available for instant download in the View Our Products area at creativeguitarstudio.com. Well, the next thing that we're going to do is extend the chord qualities out to the 7th quality of chords. You know, triads, of course, they're used sometimes in, jazz, in some soul music, R&B music, but more often than not, we're going to find the application of 7th quality chord types used most commonly in the chord progressions of these particular musical genres. Now, in the second example, I'm going to take the example 1 chord changes that we had of E minor to A, and B minor to C major. So we're going to take those chord changes, which again were 1, 4, 5, 6 in E minor, and we're going to extend the chord voicings out to 7th chord qualities. Starting with the E minor chord, what we're going to do a little bit differently here is instead of that triad idea of the way it moves from the root to the 5th in the chord voicing, we're going to go in a little bit different direction with it and move from root to minor 3rd, and we're going to not use the 5th at all in this chord voicing for E minor 7. So it's going to be a really different layout, different fingering, but it's got a little bit warmer sound to it. Tell the difference there. So that's the chord we're going to use for E minor 7. On the A minor 7, you kind of have an option here. In the handout, I've written it up as this style, traditional jazz style. It's also a style that Stevie Ray Vaughan really liked to use, using middle finger in the bass, ring finger collapsed across the neck like that. And you can do that one, or you could get a little bit more punchy sound by including the 5th and doing this larger bar chord style minor 7. From there, we just move up a whole step. So you just take that chord up a whole step, even if you wanted to use these, drift them up a whole step, and you're moving from A minor to B minor 7. Then the last chord that we're going to do is in 8th position. It's the C major converted to C major 7. And that's a very typical chord voicing for that off the 6th string root. So you have your root, your major 7, major 3rd, perfect 5th up top there. It's a very squished up fingering. It's only within a 2-fret range, so watch your fingering technique for that one. Another thing you should pay attention to is we have relocated here, because in example 1 we were shooting down to the 2nd position into 3rd position with the B minor and C. Now we're up at 7th and 8th, so a little bit different layout there. It's a little bit more linear concept of how those are moving along the neck. But I think the next thing I'd like to do is just jam this progression out for you, just give you a good idea how it's supposed to sound. It goes like this. Here's it with these other voicings. So it's a really nice sound when you convert the triads into the 7ths. It definitely changes the overall feel of everything. I think it gives it a nicer sort of soul, R&B, kind of hip-hop type sound, a little bit of that funky element to it as well. So definitely, review this stuff, do some good work on it. It's going to be great to take any progression that you have out of triads and bump it over to 7th quality. This just isn't locked down to soul R&B music or something, or jazz. You can really apply it in a lot of different styles as well. So study the notation that's in your handout, review the chords, make sure you understand and learn any new fingerings, fretboard positions, of course, as well. Develop the progression up to tempo, and use a metronome or a drum machine later to get your feel together on it. Well, that wraps up the first half of the video. What we're going to do in the second half over in the members area on my site is we're going to take a look at extended chords coming up next. So we're going to mess around with some ideas of, adding in 9s and 11, I have these kind of ideas, even 6 ideas, stuff like that. We're also going to take a look at the world of adding in some passing licks and fills, because that's a great sound to add to your playing as well. So you can come up with some pretty cool ideas with adding in some little passing runs like that, mostly just using some pentatonic and basic scale lines. So we're going to cover that stuff in part 2. I hope you'll join me in the members area for it. That's where all the other guitar courses are as well. So definitely worth pulling a membership on the site to just check out everything that's happening in there. Well, thanks for watching part 1 of the lesson plan. Be sure to sign up at creativeguitarstudio.com, where monthly and annual members will be able to watch part 2 and download the handout and any other associated material in the members area.
The Music Reading Phase 1 ebook has over 30 pages of comprehensive project lessons covering the entire fifth reading position on the guitar. Music reading charts and drills will work to help students memorize the placement of the fifth position notes, including important sharp and flat tones. Several original and classic pieces of sheet music will help students to gain a solid understanding for this region of the neck. Rhythm studies, duration examples, plus song and location drills along with 19 MP3 audio tracks makes this one of the best music reading courses available online. Music Reading Phase 1 is available for instant download in the View Our Products area at creativeguitarstudio.com.